So we are putting up this fence. We are getting ready to train the piglets to some hot wire. We will see how it goes. Up there is where the piglets are, and they will be able to come out here. Our adult pigs are enjoying some apples that had fallen from a neighbor's tree, and he brought them over as treats for the pigs.
All right.
Does it have to be all the way in?
So we're testing the fence to see what kind of charge we have. 6.6 here. That should be good enough to keep a pig in.
That's like barely losing 3.
So we're all out here getting ready to let the pigs out. Come on, piglets!
Those are piglets?
Yeah, those are piglets. They're about 6 months old. So since these piglets were born here on the farm, we've just continued to call them piglets so that we know them different from the adult pigs. Like I might say, hey, go take these scraps to the piglets, or go take these scraps to the pigs. So that's why we've continued to call these pigs the piglets. Once they know that the fence is hot, they will respect this fence and won't go close to it. But it takes them a day or so and a couple times of getting zapped by the fence to learn to stay back. So the piglets have been confined to the inside of the barn up until now. So we've had concrete dishes inside the barn where we would pour extra milk and scraps from the house in for them. But now I want to move these concrete dishes to the outside so that we can keep the inside of the barn cleaner. But of course these concrete dishes are very, very dirty from being inside the pig pen, and I don't want to touch them. So that's why I'm using the shovel to tumble them all the way out here up close to the fence so that we can pour our scraps and milk over the fence into the concrete bowls. So this is whey from yesterday's cheese making and some apple scraps that a friend gave for the pigs. Frost is coming. So today is going to be a marathon harvest day. I have to pick all the tomatoes and all the apples. But first, we've got to get the kids off to school. The cows want to go down to lower pasture, so I'm gonna let them down there today. And we've got a couple more hay bales to get under cover for winter. So the mama hen and her babies are scratching through the donkey manure, looking for bits of grain and grasses that are undigested. So here we have Uno, our turkey hen. I know, you're so pretty, Uno, aren't you? And her baby. And up here, we have our meat turkeys, our Thanksgiving turkeys. And they have been free ranging with Uno and the rest of the turkeys, but we need them to get big real fast, so we put them in here where they have access to food all day long, because we really want them to be big enough to harvest in about a month. But they are missing their free ranging days. I think Uno is missing them too. So now the kids are off to school and I've checked on all the animals. We're gonna start with harvesting whatever is left above the ground in preparation for a frost tonight. And here I'm picking the red raspberries. They're almost done for the season. I really do think that they would have kept on producing a little longer if we would have had rain, but we didn't have much rain through the month of September, so they are just kind of done. But we did harvest about 5 gallons of red raspberries from these plants. Now we're going to move on to harvesting all the tomatoes that we've got left. So I've got all the tomatoes picked. I got 3 buckets of good tomatoes and 1 bucket for the pigs. And I did not pick any green tomatoes. I only picked the tomatoes that were turning color. I do not think it's gonna be a killing frost. They're only predicting 30, 31 degrees. And if it's only gonna be for a short time as the sun comes up, I think the green tomatoes will be okay. However, even if it's a killing frost, we have plenty of tomatoes and tomato products to get us through the winter. But I didn't want to take the chance on these tomatoes because I still want to make ketchup. So these are going to be ketchup tomatoes. And I got the raspberries picked. The apples, I'm going to wait till the kids come home from school. But I'm going to go and pick some of my grape and cherry tomatoes, because I have not yet saved any seeds of those little yellow tomatoes, and I really want to save some of those for next year. So right here are these little yellow tomatoes that I want to save seeds from. And I do not know the variety because I bought them at a yard sale, but they are very, very good. And these little yellow tomatoes have turned even my most reluctant tomato eaters into tomato lovers. So we have not picked any cucumbers for about 3 weeks because we've had our fill of cucumbers and we canned all the pickles that we needed to can plus some. So these cucumbers have just been out here growing, and I'm gonna pick them all for the pigs because they might as well eat them and turn them into bacon for us, rather than have the frost turn them to mush. Okay, here's what we've got so far. And I have no idea what I'm gonna do with all those hot peppers. And the kids are home from school. So the last thing we have to do is pick all the apples.
Oh. Whoops. Should we just throw them down, Mom?
No, don't throw them.
Here's a big fat one. Here's a big fat one. How did you get that much? This one's going in this rock. Yeah, I got it. Mitchell.
He threw that one.
Mitchell.
It was a bad one. I tried to make it in this one.
So this tree is a honey gold apple tree, and it is about 8 years old, and it has been very consistent in giving us big, juicy apples. And we have rarely, if ever, had trouble with the codling moth in this apple tree. The moths will get into our other apple trees, but rarely, if ever, in this one. We might have one apple here or there that has a worm in it, but nothing compared to our other apple trees.
Yeah, somebody was what was my name? Oh, ew.
She's slobbering.
Somebody was talking the rock was made out of
You want one too, Fiona?
No, I'm gonna take it. No, what's that? You said, take a tree, take a bite out of a stick. Oh, tree.
So the pigs are happy to receive all the garden scraps today. Well, there it is, guys. All our harvest that was still above the ground. The potatoes and carrots can wait until a later date since the frost won't hurt them.